I defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man.
The truth behind Hollywood's glittering facade has a way of coming crashing down when the stakes are high and the secrets are too explosive to keep hidden. In an industry where every scandal is dissected and every headline screams drama, one lawsuit has set the stage for a revelation that is as dramatic as it is revealing. I stand firmly with Justin Baldoni in this legal battle, not merely because of the facts on the ground, but because it is a fight for authenticity against an elaborate narrative crafted by someone who once embodied Hollywood's charm. What unfolds is a story that begins with whispers of betrayal and escalates into a full-blown battle for reputation, power, and control.
And that's part of the point that Justin's team is making in kind of complying with what they're viewing as threats made on her behalf.
It all began with murmurs in the corridors of Hollywood, whispers that Blake Lively, once celebrated as the epitome of grace and likability, was involved in a scheme that went far beyond the usual celebrity gossip. Allegations emerged that she had overstepped boundaries by attempting to hijack a major movie project spearheaded by Justin Baldoni, a figure revered for his integrity and creative vision. Early on, it was said that Blake's maneuver wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern of behavior aimed at monopolizing attention and rewriting narratives. These early sparks ignited a controversy that would soon catch fire, thrusting two very different public images into the spotlight. As the lawsuit was officially filed, details emerged that were almost too staggering to believe. With figures soaring into the hundreds of millions, the legal documents painted a picture of a power struggle.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to,
that transcended simple contractual disputes. On one side stood Blake Lively, attempting to recast herself as a victim ensnared in the treacherous webs of Hollywood intrigue. On the other side was Justin Baldoni, whose reputation for professionalism and sincerity provided a stark contrast to the manufactured claims levied against him. The courtroom soon transformed into a battleground where every piece of evidence was scrutinized and every statement was re-examined under the unforgiving light of public opinion. In a dramatic twist that could have been pulled straight from a Hollywood script, Blake Lively made a desperate gamble by hiring a crisis PR team known for its unorthodox methods. Among these unconventional experts was a former government intelligence officer, yes, a real ex-CIA operative, whose role was to spin the narrative in her favor. This decision, intended to lend credibility and gravitas to her side of the story, instead deepened suspicions. Industry insiders and casual observers alike couldn't help but wonder if a top-tier PR strategist with a background in intelligence was necessary to manage the fallout. What was really at stake? The move backfired spectacularly, revealing a vulnerability and a level of desperation that only served to further erode Blake's once sterling image. The backlash was swift and brutal. As details of the PR maneuver became public, fans, critics, and fellow insiders began to turn against Blake. Social media platforms lit up with accusations and memes, while longtime collaborators and even erstwhile friends distanced themselves from a star whose actions now seemed at odds with the Hollywood ideal. The narrative was shifting rapidly. What had once been a story of a misunderstood celebrity was now a full-blown exposé of manipulation, control, and hubris.
Against Justin is like, well, there's this financial consequence to everything in addition to the strike consequences too, right?
Every new piece of evidence that surfaced chipped away at the carefully constructed image Blake had spent years cultivating, leaving behind only the raw, unvarnished truth. Behind the scenes, the real story was unfolding like a carefully guarded secret finally brought to light. Former crew members, scriptwriters, and even directors began to speak out about the chaotic environment on set, a place where Blake's overbearing personality had led to last-minute script changes, stifled creative input, and a pervasive sense of frustration. Accounts poured in about meetings where her decisions overruled seasoned professionals, about moments when the atmosphere shifted from collaborative to combative in the blink of an eye. These revelations painted a picture of a star who had lost touch with the art of teamwork, substituting genuine creative leadership with a dictatorial desire for control. As the legal battle intensified, Justin Baldoni emerged as a figure of calm determination amid the swirling storm of allegations and counterclaims. Rather than resorting to the theatrics and sensationalism that had come to define much of Hollywood's crisis management, he maintained a steady, fact-based approach that resonated with both his peers and the public. Every piece of evidence he presented was a blow to the narrative that Blake had been meticulously constructing. His measured tone and unwavering commitment to truth gradually won over a skeptical audience, shifting the momentum in a case that was as much about character as it was about legal responsibility. The courtroom became the arena for a dramatic showdown where each new testimony and document further discredited the claims of a victim narrative. With each session, it became increasingly clear that the battle was not simply a legal dispute, but a profound commentary on the nature of celebrity and accountability. The contrast between Justin's grounded approach and Blake's increasingly erratic behavior could not have been starker.
And I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man, but he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man.
As evidence mounted, the public began to see through the veneer of glamour and spun narratives, recognizing that what was on display was not a simple case of one wronged artist against a villain, but rather a complex drama of ambition, pride, and the perilous cost of trying to control one's image at all costs. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of the scandal began to extend far beyond the confines of the courtroom. Hollywood insiders, from studio executives to casting directors, started reassessing their alliances. Long-standing relationships were reevaluated, as it became evident that aligning with a figure embroiled in such a public controversy was not only risky, but could tarnish the reputation of entire projects. Endorsements dried up, and whispers of replacing Blake with emerging talent began circulating among decision-makers. In an industry where public perception can make or break a career overnight, the implications of her actions were becoming painfully clear. Industry veterans noted that the scandal was symptomatic of a larger problem, a reflection of an entertainment culture that prizes image over substance, and where the relentless pursuit of stardom can lead even the most talented to make fatal missteps. The backlash against Blake was not just about one isolated incident, it was an indictment of a system that allowed such a dramatic fall from grace to occur. While some celebrities have managed to reinvent themselves after public scandals, the methods and timing of Blake's attempts at damage control only reinforced the notion that she had lost touch with the very qualities that once made her a favorite in the industry. The turning point in the narrative was marked by a series of revelations that cast a long shadow over the entire saga.
Ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
As more insiders came forward with corroborative details, it became clear that Blake's attempts to reframe herself as the aggrieved party were not only disingenuous, but had actively contributed to her downfall. For every carefully crafted statement she issued, there was a counter-narrative from those who had experienced her domineering presence firsthand. Social media, always the great equalizer, amplified these voices. Clips from interviews, leaked, emails, and anonymous accounts flooded the digital space, leaving little room for doubt about the authenticity of Justin Baldoni's claims and the stark contrast between his conduct and hers. The evidence accumulated not only in the courtroom but also online served as a catalyst for a broader discussion about accountability in Hollywood. Debates erupted on forums and talk shows about whether a celebrity's past actions should forever define their future, and if redemption was truly possible in an industry that was quick to forget as much as it was to remember. Amid the heated exchanges, one fact remained indisputable. Authenticity had become a currency in modern celebrity culture, and those who attempted to manipulate it were destined to fall from grace. In the wake of the scandal, the fallout was as swift as it was unforgiving. Major studios began distancing themselves from any projects associated with Blake Lively. High-profile directors, once eager to work with a star of her caliber, now hesitated, citing concerns over potential disruptions and the negative impact on their films. The once powerful network of Hollywood allies began to crumble, replaced by a new generation of talent unburdened by past controversies and more in tune with an audience that demanded genuine storytelling. Even endorsements and sponsorship deals, which had long been a staple of her career, evaporated almost overnight. Brands that once proudly displayed her image now balked at the risk of association with a figure so mired in controversy.
And then she continued. She took that stiletto and stuck it in his heart when he was down there self-flagellating, being so sorry for anything having to do with his testosterone.
While the professional consequences mounted, the personal toll on Blake was equally severe. The public's reaction was not limited to the professional sphere. It spilled over into her personal life, with social media platforms becoming battlegrounds of criticism and disillusionment. Longtime fans who had once admired her on the red carpet and in interviews found themselves questioning everything they had believed about her. The disconnect between her public persona and the harsh realities of her actions created an irreparable fissure in her fan base, a fracture that no amount of PR spin could mend. For Justin Baldoni, the evolution of the scandal was bittersweet. Though vindicated by the facts and supported by an ever-growing chorus of voices from within Hollywood, he remained resolute in his commitment to focus on the craft and the principles that had defined his career. His measured responses and the strategic unveiling of irrefutable evidence resonated with an audience tired of manufactured celebrity narratives. In many ways, his approach stood as a counterpoint to an industry that often rewarded style over substance. His success in this high-profile legal and public relations battle served as a powerful reminder that authenticity, tempered by humility and responsibility, was ultimately what the modern viewer demanded. Looking back at the trajectory of this saga, it is impossible not to see it as a microcosm of a broader trend in celebrity culture. The relentless pace of Hollywood, driven by the unyielding hunger for the next big scandal, leaves little room for error.
So they filmed May to June, then shut down for the strike, and then they were down until January. But I think that the strike lifted in November, but then she had all these return to work provisions.
In an environment where every action is scrutinized and every misstep magnified, maintaining one's integrity is both a formidable challenge and a vital necessity. The downfall of a star who once seemed invincible underscores the peril of relying solely on image without the substance to back it up. Ultimately, the fallout from this legal battle and the subsequent public reckoning serve as a cautionary tale for anyone who dares to manipulate their narrative at the expense of truth. It is a story of ambition run amok, a tale of a celebrity who, in trying to remain on top, lost sight of what truly matters: the trust of an audience that values authenticity above all else. In defending Justin Baldoni and highlighting the discrepancies in Blake Lively's account, the spotlight has not only revealed individual missteps, but also cast a harsh light on an entire system that often rewards facades while punishing genuine accountability. As we stand at the crossroads of celebrity and accountability, the broader implications of this scandal are impossible to ignore. It forces us to ask critical questions. In an industry that is constantly reinventing itself, can someone who has so thoroughly lost the public's trust ever stage a comeback? Or does the relentless march of progress leave no room for those who refuse to adapt? While Hollywood is renowned for its stories of redemption, these narratives require more than just a clever PR campaign. They demand a fundamental transformation, a willingness to accept responsibility and rebuild from the ground up. In the end, what this saga has shown is that the true measure of a celebrity's worth lies not in their ability to create sensational headlines, but in the authenticity of their actions and the integrity of their character.
And so that's what happens to you, right? You run into somebody who seems like a witch who will take advantage of you and hurt you until finally even that kind of a guy.
Justin Baldoni's unwavering stance and his commitment to the truth have set a benchmark for accountability, proving that even in the tumultuous world of Hollywood, the truth will always have its day. As we witness the fallout, we are reminded that every glittering image has a story behind it. A story that, when unraveled, often tells us much more about the human desire for power, recognition, and redemption than any well-crafted narrative ever could. The Hollywood machine, with its ceaseless churn of stars rising and falling, continues to move forward without pause. New talent emerges, fresh faces capture the imagination of the public, and the relentless pursuit of innovation overshadows those who cling to outdated methods of self-promotion. Blake Lively's attempt to commandeer a narrative through high stakes, legal battles, and desperate PR gambits has only accelerated her descent into irrelevance. Her story, once filled with promise and admiration, now stands as a stark reminder of the price of pride and the unforgiving nature of public opinion. In this rapidly evolving landscape, the lessons are clear. Authenticity, transparency, and accountability are the cornerstones of lasting success. When a celebrity attempts to manipulate these values for personal gain, the backlash is swift and severe. As the dust settles on this high-profile confrontation, one thing is evident. The industry no longer has room for those who compromise on integrity. The legacy of the scandal will not be measured solely by the legal documents or the social media outcry, but by the enduring shift in how both audiences and professionals view what it means to be truly successful in Hollywood. So as we reflect on this dramatic turn of events, the final question lingers. In a world where every move is recorded, every mistake dissected, and every attempt at reinvention met with skepticism, is there any hope for a redemption that isn't built on manufactured narratives? The answer, perhaps, lies in the quiet resilience of those who continue to honor truth over spectacle. For Justin Baldoni, the journey is far from over. His steady climb back to favor, rooted in genuine talent and a refusal to be drawn into the theatrics of scandal, offers a roadmap for others navigating the treacherous waters of celebrity. And for those who once believed in the glamour of Hollywood's golden days, this saga is a sobering reminder that even the brightest stars can dim when the truth is allowed to shine. In the end, this isn't merely a tale of a lawsuit or a celebrity. Feud. It's a vivid exploration of the price one pays when reputation is treated as a commodity, when image supersedes substance, and when the relentless quest for validation overshadows the need for honest self-reflection. The journey of Justin Baldoni and the dramatic unraveling of Blake Lively's carefully constructed persona have captured the attention of an industry and a public that yearn for real stories amid the glitz and glamour. As the chapter closes, on this scandal, the conversation it sparks about accountability, integrity, and the future of celebrity power plays is just beginning. The Hollywood spotlight may be harsh and unyielding, but it is in that very light that truth finds its way to the surface. And while some may fade into obscurity when their secrets are exposed, others who stand by the truth, like Justin Baldoni, find that their legacy is built not on the fleeting nature of scandal, but on the enduring impact of authenticity and resilience. As the credits roll on this turbulent episode, one message remains unmistakable. In an industry that never stops moving, only those who adapt and remain true to themselves will continue to shine.